Back to Basics live on Bethan TV. Viewers and listeners, you're very much welcome. I'm always excited to know that someone out there is tuning into Bethan TV for health and getting to be part of this engaging program. Back to Basics, like the name suggests, it really deals with the topics, and we look at different ways how we can get back to the basics so we can move smoothly in life. Life is full of challenges, but when you're ready, when you have the knowledge, and when you have the networks, and when you have the abilities, definitely, we always go over those challenges, and then we live the life that we are accustomed to. So you're very much welcome. Bethan TV for Health comes your way live on the mainstream, free-to-air, GoTV, but also on Star Times. This was our new addition this year to help you get to not miss any of the topics that happen on Bethan TV for Health. My name is Moses, and I'm proud that I host Back to Basics. And in the studio this evening, I just want to take this opportunity to introduce Mariam Nabukera. Mariam Nabukera, you're very much welcome.
Thank you, Moses.
And this is the second time this year.
Yeah.
But we are still in January, so I will have to say Happy New Year once again.
Yeah, it's still January, obviously. We are still in the New Year.
The New Year 2024.
So Happy New Year to Moses.
Thank you.
Yeah, Happy New Year to others.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Mariam. Mariam is a counselor and comes all the way from Entebbe. That's where she does most of her work. That's where she's based. And Mariam works with ALEAD organization, which basically it's a community-based organization that supports different people, vulnerable people, and helping them in different aspects. But I would want to ask Mariam, ALEAD, what do you normally, how do you support the community?
Thank you, Moses. ALEAD, it's an organization. It is in the community. It's out of in the community. It's open. It welcomes everyone.
Yep.
Be it which category. Maybe let me say you were a man, you were female, you were a kid. We usually come in. We intervene in every civil affair. Let me say it's a fight between marrieds. We will provide counselors, we mediate when we go to the police. The police knows us. Everyone, let me say, to any institution that someone can go, let me say like hospitals, we can go there, we advise people what to do. On most cases, let me say, a case of a rape, some people don't know that you don't immediately do some stuffs immediately after in order to get justice. So as ALEAD, we are there to tell people or guide people what they are supposed to do when they get involved into those affairs so that they get justice at the end. So roughly, as ALEAD, we deal with human rights, justice to people. We make sure that one is getting justice. We also have a project which is new now. It is women's ownership over land. Ebyettaka. Lifuse ettaka Entebbe eyo. Yeah, ettaka lifuse
ettaka. Not only Entebbe, my dear. Land is land everywhere.
Land is land, but I tell you, Entebbe.
Land is land.
Yeah.
Wars are going on, conflicts, fighting, quarrels because of land. So it's not only in Entebbe.
Yes, but in Entebbe we have a challenge of widows. Widows, like relatives, come in and take their land. So as ALEAD, we stand in to help those widows to get ownership or let me say the justice that they deserve after the late husbands. Yes.
Wow, that's very interesting, and thank you for that support. And you and your other colleagues, thank you very much. That's very awesome. I find that there are people out there who come to support and guide the community to access some of those human rights fundamentals. So thank you very much. And now we are here with us on Back to Basics. And this evening, ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about resolutions from last year. Those people who achieved the resolutions for 2023. Now we're setting up a new resolutions.
Yes.
And in our topics, we've been looking at how do you set up these resolutions and how do you jump up to opportunities. But sometimes there are questions that come in our minds and we ask ourselves, Mariams, have you ever asked yourself, for example, why some people succeed and jump on opportunities while others watch on the sidelines?
Yes.
Sometimes those questions come, and if you're not careful and you want to answer, sometimes people may say, maybe me, I don't have luck, blame it on luck, and other things.
Capability.
Yes, capability.
My name, like maybe I was charmed, I was bewitched. That's what they say.
Yeah, sometimes people go spiritual.
They go spiritual.
Blame it on,
but their life
on
is
different
spiritual.
issues.
But sometimes some things we do it, we have to cause it. Apart from spiritual realm, we have to cause it. Some doors we're supposed to force in order for them to open. You don't think that you're like a kid who knocks and the parent opens just like that because they know you're a kid. No, sometimes you have to knock. You push a bit.
So we're asking you, we want to take time and ask ourselves, what is that ingredient that is required to get to right opportunities? And this topic that we're going to discuss really looks at opportunities. And there are very many quotes and inspiration words about opportunity. Opportunity comes as a sunrise, and if you don't get it, sometimes you miss it.
Of course.
We have very many famous people that have spoken about opportunities, but we just want to take time and dissect on how do you seize an opportunity specifically for a rewarding tomorrow. So introducing the topic this evening is seizing opportunity for a rewarding tomorrow.
Seizing opportunities
for a rewarding tomorrow.
For a rewarding tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Moses.
Sounds a bit wide topic, but with Mariam, we'll slowly break it down and try to understand, first of all, what do we mean by that statement, Mariam?
Okay. Seizing opportunity, to seize it, to grasp something. Which was, let me say, passing, but you grasp it. Then opportunities, these are things that happen to us. They are, let me say, miaganya, iri obulamu bwaffe, that come once in a while, but when you handle it very well, they can reach you to a better tomorrow. Then, for the rewarding tomorrow, it means that when you handle well these opportunities, or when you prepare well yourself, you can get a rewarding tomorrow. It means you can get some successful story at the end of the day. Yes, Moses.
Very interesting. You mentioned about seizing an opportunity, and then you used words like grasping something that is passing by.
Yeah. By the way, opportunities are passing events. They just come once in a while. They come occasionally. Not every time that your boss is going to promote you. It won't. It just comes. Now, Moses, allow me to tell you a story.
Okay.
Yeah, this story, it's going to help us about the learning or the topic of today. You're going to know it more when I say it. Now, there lived three men.
There lived?
Three men.
Three men.
Yeah, this story is from unknown source, but I know it's going to help us on our learning today. There lived three men, and they were so hardworking. They were so determined. They had it all. They were so friendly enough that they used to do everything together. Now, as they were hustling into life as time goes on, one decided to build a house.
Okay.
Yeah, one decided to build a house, and of course others, they just saw it as it wasn't important by that time to them. But for him, maybe he didn't even know why. He just wanted to build a house. He didn't have anything like, how can I call it? Something like a chigenderere mabega, why he's building that house. but he built it anyway. They continued hustling as usual, continued to be friends. I told you they were handsome, good-looking, determined men. So when one decided to build a house, others didn't, but they continued with life.
Okay.
So life went on, life went on. They were farmers, they did their crops, they used to take it to the farm. They used to take the products to the villagers and everything. Now, as time goes on, there came a beauty, a very beautiful girl. Have you ever noticed in the community, when a beautiful or a new faces in the community, the way people look, the way men can turn? So it happened to these three men. The beauty came in front of them. So they all wanted to get a chance to be with her, let me say. Now one, let me say, gathered energy, nagenda mugambeko. So he reached there. The girl seemed interested, but before she said yes, the girl asked him, "But where are you taking me? Where are you going to put me?" Because remember, she didn't know whether this guy is having anything, but she was asking to know where she was going. So the guy told her, in fact, he was like, "We shall build, we shall start up our own life." But this girl, as girls, we have dreams. We want to make homes one day of our own. Yes. But of course, despite the fact that love and get interested, we also want to get where we see we can start from. So in that manner, the first man was refused because he didn't have where to put her. Then the second, he went and told his three friends. So the second didn't even bother to go, because he just asked himself, if they refuse the first one because he doesn't have where to take this girl. Remember, sometimes we surround ourselves with people who are some percentage like us. So he said, if they refused him, how about me? So for him, he answered himself that I'm not going to take, I have nowhere I'm going to put this girl. Because the first one, it can be that he was staying with the parents, maybe he was staying with a friend at a friend's place, so he didn't have where to put this girl. And then the second one, we don't know whether he was also living with a friend, but we see that he thought about it and he got the answers the first one got. Now the third one came.
The one who had the house? The
one who had the house.
Okay.
He came and proposed, and the girl seemed also interested. As time went on, she accepted to marry him, and she became her wife, his wife. So what is this story bringing? That having built a car, having built a house, it made him get a wife. So in today's situation, building a house was kind of an opportunity. He created himself, but he didn't know that it will reward him tomorrow. Yeah, so that brings to our topic today, that we seize opportunities today to be rewarded tomorrow. In that case, the opportunity was a house, and a wife was a reward that he didn't know he would get tomorrow.
By the time he was building a house?
By the time he was building a house, yes.
Now, yeah, thank you for the story. I think it really brings it, because like he said, he didn't know.
He didn't know.
He didn't know that probably that house would be one of the factors that would help him win over, because like the way you're saying, it's as if there was that competition, like everyone wanted that girl.
Of course.
And the house helped. So I think it brings it. And now from that story, looking at doing something, it's kind of planning and preparation.
Yes, of course.
But sometimes here we look at the opportunities, like the way you're saying that they would be passing by. And I think the dilemma is how do we make that, how do we prepare ourselves
Yes.
for such opportunities? May not be a wife in this case, but for opportunities for jobs,
Of
opportunities
course.
for for personal growth, opportunities for family, etc. But then how do we prepare? Should we just pray about it? What is that preparation? What does it entail to enable us be ready for such opportunities?
Okay, thank you, Moses. That brings us to our first step that you have to do. You just can't take any step when you want to seize any opportunity when you have not defined a purpose in life. You can't. It's like chasing wind. You have to know your purpose. It's a purpose that drives you back to what you're going to be. It's that purpose that whenever you're going astray, it brings you back in line. So always align with people or things that are heading in your direction. You have to be where you're supposed to be. You have to do what you're supposed to do. I tell you this, Moses, that if anyone out there wants to seize these opportunities, you have to do what you're supposed to do. You have to be in your purpose. You have to know your purpose. What's your purpose? What are you doing? What did you study? Are you doing what you studied? Are you in your purpose? Are you in your purpose? You have to define your purpose in that. You have to know what you want to become. You have to know who you want to become, who you want to be in the future. You have to first define yourself as you, who is me? What is my capability? When you know your capability, it will help you to know more about what other steps you're going to do tomorrow. I can't tell you this, Moses. Have you ever seen someone who is successful without a purpose? Have you ever seen one who is successful without a purpose?
Definitely, I don't know, but I think I've never seen one. But then I'm wondering about purpose and someone who is watching us and following us. When you said finding a purpose,
you have to define
what do we mean by this? If maybe you can illustratively give us like an example. Is it in terms of career?
Yeah,
is it in terms of maybe a family, or how you want to be identified in the community? Is it in terms of what you want to contribute to the country or to the community? What do we mean by a purpose to help someone who is there, who is asking himself or herself? Now, I don't know. I can't say I don't have a purpose, but I haven't found it. And when he said finding it, what do we mean by defining the purpose?
Defining the purpose, obviously, it means that what you do or what are you living for? Let me say you studied to be a doctor.
Okay. So in this case, your purpose is maybe to be a famous doctor or a doctor, someone who treats and helps people.
Yeah, yes. Because in doctorate we have different departments.
Yes.
We have the cardiologists for the heart. Yes. We have neurosurgeons, that is for the brain. Okay. We have those who are physiotherapists. So what's
the gynecologists?
Yes. Yeah,
so let's assume someone has defined I want to be a cardiologist.
A cardiologist. You are a cardiologist. Now you've defined it. You've defined it. Now you know. You know, now it means that you've defined it. Despite doctors are many, but for you, you've defined where you fit. So you have to do everything in line in cardiologists. If you go, because you can't be a cardiologist and you find yourself, let me say, in this case, you're studying, you're still at the campus or the university. You're a cardiologist.
From secondary, and your purpose is to be
a cardiologist. Okay, let me say, a cardiologist. Then I hope, because in secondary, you haven't studied some of these things. But remember, that's your dream, because purposes sometimes align with your dreams. So this is your dream. You want to be a cardiologist. Why don't you go and read some books about, let me say, the heart? You can't tell me that you want to be a cardiologist, but when the teacher comes to teach about the heart, you don't pay attention.
Or at
you don't love
or at
science.
A level you drop all the sciences
Yes,
and you're doing
you drop all the
history,
sciences.
economics and geography and literature, and you want to be a cardiologist.
And you want to be a cardiologist? So if you've defined your purpose, that doctors are many, but I want to be a cardiologist, and let's try to show us that you've defined your purpose. Try to show us that you're doing something towards that purpose.
Yes.
Yes, at least in one way or the other. Let me say, let me drive into the second point, that position yourself.
Okay, before positioning, we just need to take a break. But the first one is defining your purpose.
Yeah,
and you
your
clearly
purpose.
brought an example that can illustrate what it means by defining the purpose and what you should do in order to remain in your purpose. So we will take a very short break. When we come back, we'll continue with those practical tips that would help us to prepare such that opportunities don't just run away or pass by us without us seizing them. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we are still talking about seizing an opportunity for a rewarding tomorrow. And we've looked at the first practical step from Mariam as defining your purpose clearly. Let's take a break and we'll be back and continue. Yes, I am very excited to have you back from that short break as we continue discussing seizing an opportunity for a rewarding tomorrow with Mariam in the studio. And she gave us a very good story. I think that was, I must say, you're very good at, I don't know if that was imagination or...
No, it was there. It was from unknown source.
From unknown source. I don't know where that village is or that town, where the three men and the beauty, I don't know where the beauty came from. But anyway, it's helped us to understand the topic this evening, which is seizing an opportunity for a rewarding tomorrow. And before the break, we are looking at how do we prepare ourselves for these opportunities. That is appreciating the fact that opportunities may fly away. May fly away.
They are scarce.
Taking inference, one of the quotes that opportunities are like the sunrise. So the sunrise comes
and goes.
And sometimes if you're still inside, you may miss it. It comes and it goes. So how do we prepare ourselves? And Mariam was telling us to define our purpose in life. And I'd asked her to kind of take us deeper into this purpose. And thank you for highlighting and bringing some of the ways on illustratively using someone wants to be a cardiologist and must do things around there to start with, study subjects that are related to that course, which is very important. And the second one, Mariam?
Yeah, you said, thank you, Moses. You talked of a sunrise. Someone being in the house and opportunities are like sunrise. Same applies that you were a graduate, you've just graduated, or let me say you've graduated, but you're crying. But you are in the house. You haven't even bothered to go and look for jobs outside. You feel like you've done a lot of applications. You feel tired. Before you're getting a job, really? That's not determined. When you went to study this course, you went because you had passion. Because I don't believe in someone studying something that they don't want. Because here you were a mature person. You know what you want. You went to study something, and now you want us to pressure you to do it, to practice what you studied. So in that, I'm bringing the point of positioning yourself. Waiting is somewhere that your opportunity, after defining it, where it's going to find you, and let me say hijacks you, because you were a graduate. Sincerely, Moses, you were a graduate. You are in the house, you don't get out. You have done, you're arguing, you've done 99 applications. I'm here arguing you, challenging you that you do the 100-time application. You do another one. Do it until when they tell you we don't allow applications here anymore. Positioning yourself in that case, you're writing applications. When they are looking for people to put in a certain position, you've already written your application. Let me say, what if that time you're tired, that's when they are going to pick up your application? Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. If you're a student, read your books. Now it's the time. Read your books. Concentrate. Associate with good company. Align yourself with people. Even aligning yourself, it is positioning yourself very well. Because you can't tell me like you are, let me say, a counselor, but you're dealing with people who are not even counselors, new associates. You don't even have someone called a counselor, your fellow counselor. That is not positioning yourself. Yet, to go far, we move with people, and people help us to stay far, to go far. It is okay. At your job, you're not treated well. It is fine. You're at job. You are working. Continue to show up. Be honest. Continue to be honest. However much it is not showing rewards today, there is a reward tomorrow. Continue to be where you're supposed to be. Dress well. What if you're dressing badly and someone who is going to give you a job comes in? When you dress that in the way, anywhere you want. In some jobs, as we are studying, we study what we call ethics. Every job has ethics that runs it. These are standards for that job. You are an accountant. Why are you wearing as if you're just someone? Why are you wearing like a fashion designer? Show us who you are by how you dress. That only positions you for a better position, for a better opportunity. Because even if you've done a lot to reach where you want to reach, and it has refused to come out, but have you tried much more than what you tried? Have you tried to exceed where you think you stopped and that is enough? Do you think what you've tried is enough? Continue showing up to the job. Even if the interview fails, continue going to other places. Even if a lot happens, even if your boss argues with you, even if your boss doesn't treat you well, you have a purpose that took you there. Remember, you've already defined your purpose. Now you're aligning yourself well. That is where you're going to find someone that is going to take you to a better place, to a better boss. You can't tell me that you are a doctor and you want to work in a hotel because you're saying you don't have, there are no jobs in the hospital. That's why, Moses, I usually tell myself, or I used to tell myself that if I want to do something, if I want to enter in a certain building, even if it means to enter as a cleaner, I can enter. Because you never know. That's how opportunities come. You are a cleaner today, but tomorrow you can be a manager. We've seen this. This is reality. People have entered into offices as cleaners because of your honesty, because everywhere you can behave well, everywhere you can do, people can see who you are. People can see your honesty in any aspect of life. People can test you. We walk into tests. People test us even when we don't know. But you be yourself. You've never seen cleaners who come very dressed well? And when they reach at the place where they work from, they put on their uniforms? Dressing well only places you in a position that even if you're doing this job, it doesn't remove the fact that you're a smart person. It means it's a sign that you're ready for anything. Moses, I tell you that we have graduates who wants to go, let me say, to the airport. Let me use the airport because these stories happen a lot.
Yep.
She wanted to go to the airport to work there. But she had some things she had pressed into here herself, like inze, ninavyesikora, nasoma. I can't do this, I can't do that. If I've asked for an accountant job, that's what I want. It has to be in books, offices. And then they told her, when she came at the interview, they told her, there is a job, but it's a job for cleaners. She was so hungry. She felt disrespected, and she went. Now the second one came in, because the second one was my friend, and a friend to her. Yeah, so she came in, and they told him that there is it's a cleaning job. He said, okay, it's fine. So he started cleaning. Within 2 months, they asked him. In fact, sometimes in some jobs, when you go there to ask for opportunities to work with them, they don't give you exactly what you've asked for. And I tell you this, sometimes it's not what they are going to give you. A lot of people, a lot of young people and men, a lot of young people and women, I mean young men and female, they have lost a lot of opportunities because of that mindset. It's today that I want to tell you this, that if you want to work into something, into some organization, even if they tell you something else that you've not applied for, remember they are not stupid. Sometimes it means something else, as I'm going to tell you this story. When he accepted to work as a cleaner, 2 months down the road, they asked him what he had studied. Because they told him, remember, you applied to be an accountant. How are your books? And this guy, as he was doing what he was doing, he was so obedient. Even if they tell him to remain behind, that is being flexible now. He works extra hours, he does. When they tell him to do this, he does it. When they put him in another department, apart from cleaning, let me say, in cooking, in the kitchen, he goes there. Everywhere, he was everywhere. So, basing on all that he did, all that manners he did, they asked him, what did you study? He told them, of course, I applied for an accountancy, so I studied for that. I know finances. So in that manner, they told him that we are going to give you an interview of 1 month. You're going to go in the department of accounting. They're also not giving him direct that I'm giving you the job of accounting, but you're going to go in the accounting job, and there you're going to be balancing some books, not direct to the job he wanted. He accepted, and he started balancing books. A month passed, and they promoted him. to the place he wanted. So in that case, we are saying that it's not that if at all he refused as the other girl, if he did not position himself where he was supposed to be, where he wanted to be, at least be near people, associate with people that are in what you want to do. If at all he didn't go into that, if he didn't come into that company and he did what they asked him to do, he wouldn't have reached there. If at all he did like this other girl, because up to now she's unemployed. Why? Because she didn't position herself well. So that's life.
Yes, Mariam, appreciating that positioning yourself and taking that example of someone who had found her purpose as an accountant, right? But then took up the cleaning job.
Yes.
Well, I think that is a risk.
It's a risk.
But yeah,
It's a
taking
risk.
calculated risks also is something
Yes.
that can take you to where. But doesn't it somehow contradict with the first step that you mentioned of defining and clearly setting your goals and your purpose?
No, Moses.
Because if your purpose is to be an accountant, and then now you've taken up a cleaning job, what if that doesn't come of asking you, what did you study or something like that, and you're in the cleaning, you're actually kind of gaining experience in cleaning and expertise in cleaning, not accounting. Isn't it drifting you very far from your purpose that you had defined clearly?
No, Moses, it doesn't. Why it doesn't? Because someone who is purpose-driven, even if anything comes in their way, they will still go back to their purpose. Because this is a person who got that job very well knowing who they are. That despite me cleaning, I know who I am. It's different from someone who has just come and asked for any job that is available. Because if at all this person comes in and, okay, I'm a counselor, but do you think I don't do any other job apart from counseling? Just
So
because
you are a counselor.
I'm a counselor.
And your purpose
Of
and your
course, I'm
career
counselor.
aspiration is
Yes.
to maybe
Counsel,
yeah,
to counsel, to guide people.
be a senior counselor,
Yes.
maybe work for a very big organization,
Or even do mine.
or start yours. And now here, you take up a role for a maid or a nanny in
No, Moses, come on.
in a counseling company. Yeah. Isn't it really drifting you away from your dreams and your purpose? For me, that is my point. That yes, he might have gotten that chance, and time reached, and they asked, and maybe, but, and sorry for her friend. But if her friend, her target was also to be an accountant, I would say maybe if now she started with to work in the accounts, supporting and helping in the accounts section.
But the chance
even
wasn't
if it's
there.
not.
The chance wasn't
Yes,
there.
but wasn't because starting as a cleaner, and what if that didn't happen, of them asking like, should we really take it as you should jump to anything that is available? That's what I wanted to drive at. And this is something that happens in our community, where they tell you that, you know what, togaya mulimwe,
do this,
just
do that,
do what,
just hustle.
just get whatever is available. Vis-a-vis you setting your goal clearly. You want to be a cardiologist,
a counselor, an accountant.
No, let's now go back to a cardiologist. The one that you used before. You want to be that one, you've studied that, but then after finishing, maybe you've graduated, you don't see, there's any opportunity in the hospital that is available. And people say, always jump, there are other jobs, sales, and do you really take up those? because you jump to any opportunity that is available.
Okay.
Vis-a-vis your set,
No.
you'd find purpose,
No,
like
Moses.
you brought it.
No, thank you, Moses, for asking that. Because let me illustrate it well. Moses, when I said defining your purpose, it means I'm talking about someone who is focused, someone who already know what they want. This is someone who already aligned themselves into what they are supposed to be. They are ready in this. Moses, even if you do something that is not in the line of what you decided, or that is not in your purpose, it doesn't mean that you're no longer purposeful. You're still in your purpose. Now it comes like this. You talked of a cardiologist. Let me use a cardiologist before I come to myself. Now, a cardiologist, in that case, there are no jobs in the hospital. Let me tell you this, Moses. When you know what you want, when you've defined your purpose, I told you in the last session before we went into a break, that associate yourself with people who are doing what you're doing or what you want to do. Remember, Moses, you've associated already yourself. Because remember, positioning comes when you first defined your purpose. So in this case, you are a cardiologist. You've studied cardiology. You studied cardiology, and then now there are no jobs. That's when you turn to your associates. If at all, your associates also don't have. Those associates, I know they also have people. Do you know that there are jobs that connect with our purposes while they are not our purposes? There are jobs that connect. There are jobs that help others. Let me say you were a cardiologist, but there is also someone, because the cardiologist, that's from the heart, abalongose emitima. But we know abalongose emitima, they have assistants. Moses, you were a cardiologist. You've come to the hospital. They told you that there is no cardiologist vacant place here. There is an assistant place. You're not in your purpose, but you're in something near to your purpose. So what I'm telling my listeners here, that at least try not so much to draw away from what you are or from your purpose. I'm telling you that take on opportunities that are nearly or that are connecting to your purpose. I'm a counselor. When counseling jobs are over, at least I'm going to go to an NGO. They can't fail to get something for me. Do you think they can? At least they can give me children to counsel if adults have refused. But my target are adults, remember. But these are children. That is where I have to use that opportunity they have given me to at least be in their organization and counsel those children, treat them well, and if they're in a dilemma, push them out of it. That is going to show them what I can do. It's going to create for me more space.
Okay.
It's
so
going
that is
to
positioning in line with your defined purpose.
Yes, even if it's not
Even
your
if
purpose.
It's not
your purpose. Even if it's not in your purpose.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a cardiologist job, but something near to your purpose. You know, there are jobs that connect. Let me say you are, what can I say? Like alone.
I think that is okay. My kind of my concern was with the cleaner. Someone took up the cleaner job and waited for the chance that came where they said, what did you study? That is something that wasn't in his or her control, because what if they didn't ask?
But he was in the department.
Should remain like a cleaner.
No.
It was a cleaning department, not an accounting and financial. I don't think a cleaner would be allowed now to start maybe handling books of accounts and
No,
doing this,
okay.
you would be a cleaner.
No, Moses.
But I think you've now brought it where you say like still in the same line. At least some, if it's a hospital, maybe you remain in the hospital.
Yes, you remain
in the
there.
supporting role
Like,
in that as you position yourself.
Yes,
as I see time is running, you had another the third one.
Yeah. But before, allow me to conclude this so that I pile up that statement. Moses, you were a cleaner in an organization that is for accountants. But remember, there are memos that company, those are internal communications. Memos that can sometimes there are opportunities of vacant places in an organization, true? There are organizations that have positions that are vacant within them. But at times they don't want to give the opportunities to the outsiders first. They want to give them to the insiders first. At least those opportunities, the internal recruitment. So take an example, you were a cleaner now. They said there is a vacant place in accounting.
And you qualify.
Now they said, you said that what if they don't ask you? And it can happen.
Yes.
Wait, even if they don't ask you, there is also that moment. Because there are always chances for you to enter where you want, where there is a will, there is a way. If you've entered that office, you can also as well enter what you want to do.
Inquire,
so
because
you can inquire.
You are staff inside.
You are staff inside. You have more opportunities.
That's the truth. You are an insider.
Yes, you have an opportunity. They know who you are. They can trust you more than the outsider.
Let's look at the third one.
So the third one, that is courtesy or the character. Embala. Omuganda jaite embala. Moses, in this case, it's your behaviors that can help you keep that opportunity, that can help you to hold on that opportunity. Moses, in offices, there is an organization that hires a lot of people. It's a fishery organization. There is a gentleman who used to pass. Every time he passes, he says hi to the watchman, good morning. If he's going home, he says good afternoon. I mean good afternoon, good night. But there is this one day, this man didn't say. He said good morning as he was entering, but this watchman or the gateman didn't hear anything like goodbye as usual. Now, employees went and the organization seemed empty. But we are seeing this man in the organization, he was doing some countings and they didn't add up. So he went into what we call a fridge room. For fishery organization, they have that fridge room where they keep their products. So he went there to do that. So when he was inside there, they locked him in when he didn't know. Then the watchman came, despite if he didn't hear the goodbye, so he wondered where my friend is. He went in, and while he was checking in, he found the fridge, the fridge letting room, the fridge room. He somewhere he opened, and he found him when he was freezing almost to death. He helped him. When he was asking him, when he asked him, how did you save me? How did you come to find me? Because I was waiting for my death time only, my death time. He told him that I came to save you because all the years I've worked in this organization, no one has ever said bye to me, or no one has ever said good morning to me. You're the only person who does that. So when I realized that you did not say bye to me, yet that's what you usually do, I knew that you were still inside, yet they were closing the organization. So something in me alarmed me to come and look for you. And check. That's how I found you. That's character. It's that thing that helped him, that saved him that the death he was going to go. He saved him to go in the grave. So those are that's how character helps. That most of the times, we are workers, we are employers, we work into organizations, but you're the person who gossips, you're the person who doesn't do reports, you don't who is always late, you're always late, you're dressing up bad, you talk bad to the clients. How will your boss, you're still even having, you're still earning peanut salary.
Yes, Mariam, our time is well spent. At least you brought clearly those 3 points, if I'm to get them, and we don't even have a minute, but just in a few seconds, if you can just say bye to our viewers and listeners, and then we close our session.
Okay. Good evening once again. I'm called Mariam. So I just have that one thing I have for you, that even if you behave well, your boss can recommend you to more opportunities. Your clients can tip you to more to more things you can do that get you earn more money than where you are. When you behave well, that can only happen to someone who behaves well. And then as a counselor, I'm telling you that please, youth, please stop. Can you please tame your appetite of earning wealth in a quick way? Can you please tell yourself that even if time comes when you don't know what to do, please remember your working ethics that you're supposed to work on? Because if you don't, opportunities will always pass by you. Always remember to be who you are. Always remember mostly your ethics, the way you dress, the way you behave according to where you want to be. You can reach.
Thank you very much, Mariam. Thank you very much, Mariam, and thank you for those tips you've shared with us. We've been discussing about seizing an opportunity so we can be rewarded tomorrow. Sometimes it's consciously, sometimes it's intentional. But thank you, Mariam, and thank you for sharing those 3 tips. To all our viewers and listeners, thank you very much for being part of this discussion. I hope you've learned 1 or 2 things, and this is Back to Basics live on Bethan TV for Health. Have a blessed night and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.